Hi everyone, it's Deborah, and today I'm going to be doing something that I have done in the past, but I'm going to do it slightly differently, and that is I'm going to make some coffee pod box belly bands. So this is a Nescafe or Nespresso piece of box that comes from the coffee pods. You know, the little pods come in it, and I thought instead of doing them individually, I'm going to try and do them all at once. And the other thing I wanted to use is book pages. So these are just images from various books. I've got some from botanicals, I've got lots of other things, just depends whatever it is that I've pulled out when I was having a look at my books this morning. And I thought maybe that might be the thing to do, is to try and utilize some of these rather than going to some pre-made ephemera or purchased items. So let's get going. To do this, I'm going to just randomly chop things up and see what the surprise is like at the end. Now, I quite like this picture. I think this is quite nice with the bread on the table and things like that. And it also will go across the whole thing. It doesn't mean that that's how it'll stay. I'll just quickly chop this up. So let's grab some glue and start sticking. And then when I chop, hopefully something will become nice. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. So I just want to put some glue across here and put this one down. I might stick that right down the bottom actually. And I want to vary the colours that are in it. So like I've got this one that's a bit of tree. Now let's cut some of it. Also, I'm not really worrying about how things have been cut, whether they're cut at angles or rough cut, it doesn't really matter to me. And hopefully it will work. So I'll just put some strips down and see what else I've got here. Now, I've got this butterfly, so that might create some really nice patterns if I cut through this butterfly. I'm really looking at light and shade and just seeing what sort of things might work. Now I don't want to put it down there because I've already got something in those tones. So let's have a look at something else. Like this is a rose. I've got this bit of plant, maybe that would look good there. And I'm also going to make it slightly different in terms of size. So on this end, I want to put it so that it, like just down here maybe. I don't know, we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. And what else have I got? This one, I've got a lot of greens. I need some browns or something, don't I? Oh, here you go. This is also green, but it's also got some brown down the bottom here. So I'll take a piece of this. Just make sure I don't get that writing in there because I didn't want the writing. Another piece from a piece of decoupage paper, or the book, you know, the decoupage book that I have. So I guess this is kind of like a masterboard with a difference. So I'm just putting some different strips down and seeing what I get. This is my butterfly. I didn't put him down yet, did I? I put him down now. Yep. And maybe a bit of this one here with all the florals. Is it going to be wide enough? It just is. I think that goes this way. That probably doesn't matter. And even this, so what's on the back of here is just like this skyline. And I'm going to stop now with the bread up the top. So I like the bread. And this is how they've turned out when I've cut them. So if you look at one of them, they look great, don't they? And then, you know, you've got all the different ones. I like the butterfly. See, I've got bits of butterfly on all of them. Now I'm going to add some stuff over the top. So again, I'm going to a book rather than using a pre-made thing, a purchased item. I love this book. It's even got the carbon paper in it. Guessing, I don't know if you can even buy carbon paper anymore. And sheets of writing paper. It's a good one. And over the places where the pages meet, where the joins are, I'm now going to put that down. And then when I cut this, you have this lovely thing. So let's find some more words. Just thin strips is all I'm looking for. And I was going to cut, but I think I'll tear. It tears just as well as what it cuts. And I'm just checking on the different sides of the paper to see which is the best for me to use. Now that's just ripped off, but that's fine. Also, don't forget about the page number. Page numbers are always great to use for collaging, or I think so. Just find some things, and you want to vary the fonts as well. You don't want to have the same font every time. I will cut them probably at the end, but I just wanted to show you, if you know, cutting as you go, the type of thing you're going to get. Now, I wouldn't then put this one here because it's the same size font. So I'll go back to the paper and I will find a different sort of font. Now, what I've got here is just this little bit here. So then when I go through at the end and cut something like this, you get that sort of look. And also like something like this little piece here. Just pop that down on that fold. And then the bigger one that I had before, I might actually go with the little one again, I think. Cut this little bit here out. Just don't want to cut the other one on the other side. See, it says Bedford. And then the bigger one I will put up here. And then just looking at what else I've got. I had another little one here somewhere, didn't I? Oh, that's a big one too. Now I want to put this one up. I like this font here. It's very sort of that old font looking type. This one I'm going to put down on here. Just trimming that off. So I'll put that to one side and I'll work on another one. So let's try this one here. The reason that I'm just using this glue is because I'm going to sew. I'm going to put that down. Now when I run the stitching, I may go over the top of something that I didn't really want to. For example, I may catch that 83. But I'm just going to have to live with that. It's not going to be the end of the world if that happens. What have I got here? Maybe just some writing, some straight writing here, rather than a word. I'll just cut this bit out and try that. you can put these strips anywhere, these little bits of paper. I could put them anywhere. I'm just putting them over the join because I know a lot of people tell me that they struggle with where to put things. And I've shown you that just by putting some, you know, random bits of paper down and then chopping them apart and then adding things to them, that you don't have to be an expert. I mean, I'm by no means an expert in any of this. So I'm just really showing you that if you follow this sort of thing, you'll get a nice result regardless, even if you don't think that you can do it. So I'm just chopping those off. And if you don't have the coffee pods, I'm only using the coffee pods because I have them. My husband drinks coffee, but if you don't have coffee pods, then that's fine. You can just use a piece of file folder or a piece of old paper or something like that, a piece of card. It doesn't matter what you use. It's just demonstrating, you know, the technique. Now that just fell apart when I cut it, so that's no good because I am conscious that I want to go to the edges, and I can see that this coffee pod's a bit crooked, so I'm going to trim that up when I get up and go to and sew it. So let me try another piece of thing here and see if this works better. This paper is quite old, that's why it fell apart probably. It's still usable, but it's just old. And I think I only need like 2 more to finish this off. So I'll find some words. And put this one down here. I haven't done the other 2 yet, but I will do them. I just wanted to show you how they turn out once you've sewn them. So I've sewn these 2 down. Now, because they're belly bands, you're not going to see that back part, so you don't need to cover it or anything. But also, I have trimmed this one so it's not as wide. Now, if your book isn't this high, and this is quite tall, as the coffee pod is about 10 inches, then just trim them down. There's no reason why you can't trim it down. You could trim the top and the bottom off and have that section in the middle. You could cut it in half and you could have it as a smaller little thing. So you could put it, you know, probably, I wouldn't put it that way, but you could put it that way. You can put it on the edge so you've got a little tuck spot in here. So you can have, you know, do various things with them, and that's just a matter of your imagination. So once you've done them, what I do, see, they still fit together. I've still got the thing. So once I do these sort of things, I put them all into a plastic sleeve, and then when I'm ready to use them, I bring them out and use them. But I think that they are really cute. They look great, and something that is just done with a bit of paper from a book and a bit of paper from a, you know, a picture book. So I'm sure you've all got things like that in your stash where you can use them, and hopefully you enjoyed that, the things that I've shown you today. So until next time, this is Deborah. Cheers.